Hi everyone, I'm Alaa Amer. I'm from the city of Hebron in Palestine, and I work with Voluntary Service International, the Irish branch of Service Civil International. I started through my European Solidarity Corps volunteering project that I did in Antwerp with the International Secretariat of SCI. After that, I heard about VSI, and then I got involved and continued my work as an activist and a staff member in Service Civil International for the three different branches: the Netherlands, Belgium, and Ireland. I'm based in the Netherlands, but I do hybrid work with VSI in Ireland. And my work with the solidarity and volunteering, it started since I was studying in Bethlehem University in Palestine. I was looking for opportunities to learn and to integrate with international communities. And then I was looking also for travel opportunities to see the world and to understand what does it mean to be free, what is freedom, what is liberal values, liberal thoughts, all of these things that we hear about as Palestinians, but we don't experience in Palestine. And from there, my journey as an activist and a volunteer or like work, even my studies, I studied European studies in order to understand different, like why does the West introduce us to solidarity, liberal terms, all of these things that we don't hear in the East so much. So many people, maybe when they hear solidarity, they think it's charity, donations, or like sending aids to people. For me, like solidarity is really learning about the people suffering, what the people are going through, and then feeling the others. And this is, I think, what the most has touched me when I first arrived to Ireland as a first work trip here, is the Irish people, they really feel what is the Palestinian suffering is like, which as Palestinians, during the genocide, we realized that worldwide people, they really didn't feel what we as Palestinians have been going through for 75 years. Unfortunately, this is because of misinformation, propaganda. I was surprised that people here, they don't really have like reach for the right information about what is occupation, what is the Israeli apartheid is like. But when I like joined Voluntary Service International and even met Kolov volunteers and had also the opportunity to volunteer with Kolov when I'm here, I really understood more like how important is this and how it really differs over the horizons of what solidarity means. So yeah, it's really more like people understanding and knowing what the others are going through, especially when you go to volunteer there, or you also just like hear from people who are here and what is their stories like. I think it is expanding my realization of what is my role as an international Palestinian volunteer in Ireland, in Europe in general. I would maybe say like I'm just going through this with my current experience, being a privileged Palestinian in Europe, comparing to my Palestinian family, friends, and everyone back in Palestine, that I have the right to speak up, which I have the right to establish stuff where I can share more. So I had the opportunity to do my own podcast as well, and so I can have like more space really to talk among people here and share real stories about Palestinians, even though there is so many of us as well and are being heard here. In Palestine, we're not heard, we don't have the right to speak as well. It's just very difficult, and having the space here, I think it makes a difference. The people there, when my family and the friends, they see that we can speak and we are sharing this, they think, yes, there are people thinking of us, because there we think that the people, they really don't know what we're going through and we are suffering alone, especially that there is no enough reaction from the international community toward what has been going through the genocide, even today, like with the continuing occupation. So volunteering has really a big effect in this aspect, I would say. I agree that everyone needs to take an action. Volunteering, not voluntary. Like action is very important, especially when it's related to solidarity, because it's not only like blah blah talking. As I said, like it's something that we really need to take an action for. I think what inspired me in Ireland is like people are taking out the streets every day and all the time, non-stop, speaking, and this has changed. I know that stuff in Ireland has changed since like the genocide started in Palestine, and I know the volunteers are trying, like, which I really admire, that people are active, whether taking the streets or organizing events where they're gathering people to see what are their needs, to see like what we really need to change and what steps that we need to take forward in this regard. I think what mostly I was thinking about related to this question is the Sumud Flotilla volunteers who did it. They didn't make it to Gaza, but honestly, they showed the world that, okay, what is a voluntary action? It's like these people risked their life. They had nothing. They just like, it's all volunteering. They didn't get money to do this. And it was sad and heartbreaking that they couldn't make it, but they put so much pressure through with the citizenship that they're holding over their governments to allow aid to Gaza. And for me, like, this was really like, we needed to do this from the beginning, and it was so courageous that we saw really like how aggressive the occupation was to those volunteers and how much they humiliated them. But at the same time, they showed what is a voluntary action really means and how much it changed. It was very difficult for us to see that we are all here. We feel like helpless. There is nothing that we can do. What can we do? Like, this power is much more than what we hold. But no, it was just like ships in the sea. It's reachable from like sailing from Spain all over the Mediterranean, not reaching to Gaza, but they made a really difference. And then they put the pressure and they allowed it to open the borders. When we all felt, okay, that there is no way that borders can be open and children are starving. So for me, these actions is the thing that I feel like people should carry to 2026. This kind of volunteering actions. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The message is like allow yourself to unlearn and allow yourself that you are there not just like to deliver a service, but you are just really to feel like what the community is going through. It's more than helping. It's also more than saying that just words like that I am in solidarity, or I am there like to deliver aids, for example. No, it's more really like about the experience, and that we have a lot of work to do as volunteers, and we have the space and we have the privilege here to act, to join a lot of actions, to support so many ongoing working groups that are doing this voluntary. And just so you know that you are very well supported if you are a volunteer in Ireland. And I really admire that there is so many NGOs, parties, and collective communities in Ireland that they are very supportive and amazing to keep this aspect ongoing and really leaving so much influence over the upcoming years, also for the future. And I would say don't hesitate to reach out and ask for support, for more information, maybe for more help, for more maybe understanding how you can get really involved.